Hello, my name is Gabriella WIMMER, and I wanted to introduce my new collection, the Royals. They are a collection of jewelry handbags that I have personally developed and created in conjunction with my manufacturers, my artisans in Italy. And they're actually all handmade pieces made by jewelers, so hand-turned metal, hand-cut metal. And what makes them a little bit more interesting is not only that they have metal, but that they're also combined with exotic skins and diamonds. Diamonds were actually quite an important part of the whole design process because I wanted to be able to marry a woman's two inseparable loves, the love for those supple, sumptuous, exotic leathers with, the brilliance and fire of exceptional diamonds. They tend to be statement pieces, and slightly, I have some that are a bit on the angular side and some that are just soft leather with crowning accents. And the reason why I came up with the Royals is because as I was developing each piece and drawing them, and I saw them actually come to life, I started to think about how they are so grand and how they can be so mesmerizing, and the names just came to me. So you will see pieces in there called the Duchess, the Marquise, and the Contessa, and as well the Imperial Garden. And they are a variation of different clutches, large clutches and small clutches. So with the Royals, when I originally had come up with the idea that I wanted to make these jewelry handbags, it's actually a very difficult process to find the actual artisans because there are actually only two of them in the world that can make these bags. And they both happen to be in Italy. And it's really interesting because I met actually with both of them. And they both have these long histories, these generations of experience where their families have worked in the same business for a very long time. And ultimately, I settled on one of them over the other one because I just felt that there was more of a connection with him. And so the thing is, he makes a lot of these one-off pieces, these one-of-a-kinds, where there really is a lot of that intricacy and detail work to it. Because the bags really are made one at a time, there has to be a lot of precision work and a lot of time given to each piece. They really are pieces of jewelry because every metal is actually hand-turned. It's not put on a machine. So it has to be turned exactly so then the pieces both meet each side. Then on top of that, with the detail that I've put on, they also need to be cut to these precise measurements. And as well, you need to have that person who has that finesse and all of that history to really be able to look at the piece and say, this is correct or this is not. In terms of the jewelry handbags, they are very special pieces. Each one, when a person actually places an order, it will be handmade. So all of these little details that you can have with monogramming or stitching with colors, maybe you want more than one color, even the metal itself, the diamonds, the sizes, how many, the placement, all of this can be done. You really get that piece that says, this is uniquely me. I was born in the islands in the Bahamas, but I'm actually an Austrian citizen, Sound of Music, that area. And so from a very young age, my father actually had me traveling overseas quite often. My first trip was to Vienna, where I stayed for 6 months with my uncle. And I came back after that, actually not speaking English for quite a few years. And then I would travel over there all the time. Germany, Austria, Switzerland. And as I got older, obviously, I started branching out a bit more, going to Italy, going to little other places. And finally, now, as I've gotten older, actually my last passport, I ran out of complete pages and even space between pages with so much traveling. I ended up actually moving to the Middle East for 5 years. And from there, I traveled around quite a bit within the Middle East and then also to the Far East. And somehow I got a trip to Brazil as well. So all of these experiences, they've all somehow come together to actually become part of who I am and the collection that you see today. I mean, really, I would say these are a reflection of my soul. So the jewelry handbags, they're really more for when I was in the Middle East with all of this opulence and this gold and diamonds and, you know, just this richness. And then the soft leather bags really play to the idea that, you know, since I travel so much, that I would want these types of bags to be with me on these travels wherever I go. So whenever I design, I think about all of the little intricacies, the little details that go into the making of these bags. So for instance, if somebody needed to pick up and leave very quickly, I mean, she could take the Elise, one of the large bags, put everything she needs in for a weekend and jet off somewhere. As well, if she needed to have a transitional bag from day to night, I have clutches that are deceptively large, where you actually have your card holders and a holder for your phone so that you can minimize the bulk that you have, still be very feminine and elegant, but still have everything that you need. This is my Duchess clutch, and with this one it has this very nice regal W crown on it, and within that crown I decided to place diamond skin because I decided that a woman should always feel glamorous and luxurious, and there really isn't a better way to do that than with some diamonds, and obviously a nice alligator. Inside, part of the construction and the thought process into making it a very useful daytime to nighttime clutch was actually the pockets. So you have your pocket for your smartphone as well as the pocket for the credit cards. And for me that was important because I decided that instead of a woman having to carry a wallet every time, which adds a lot of bulk and weight, I figured it was much easier just to design the bag so that it actually is very useful and functional, not just pretty.